What is up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can see from this eye look, it's very intense, but not only am I doing this eye look, but I'm doing two more. I'm going to be doing 3 separate looks using just one eyeshadow palette, and the eyeshadow palette I'm going to be using today is the Natasha Denona Tropic palette. This is one of her newest launches, a $129 palette. Yeah, I did it again, but you know what? I do like her formula, so this is it right here, and of course we're going to be doing 3 separate different kind of looks using as many shades in this palette as possible. So if you like to see how I did this one and 2 others, then keep on watching. Now my entire base is done, so of course we're going to go right in with eyes. We're going to go right in with the Natasha Denona Tropic palette. Now this one comes with 15 shades like her other palettes that cost $129 each. So these are the shades right here. Before we get started with the eyes, I'm actually going to show you guys some swatches of this palette. So we have Peach Puff, Nudist, Mint Frost, Sangria, Vintage Taupe, Exotic, Fake Tan, Pastel Melon, Laguna, Cocoa, Gusty, Tiger Lily, Sahara, Limoncello, and Xena. And a few of these shades definitely did not swatch that amazing. I will just let you know right now. Some of them just didn't swatch that amazing, but I've seen a lot of tutorials with this palette so far from Natasha Denona, and I'm actually really excited about playing with it because it looks like it will go on a lot better with brushes than it would swatches. So I'm hoping that is true because I would rather have a palette swatch horribly and perform better than anything else. So of course let's try that out. So since I'm going to be doing 3 separate looks for this palette, I'm going to go in with like a peachier, like warmer kind of eye. So I'm going to go in with the shade Peach Puff as my first shade right here. I'm going to go in with that shade first, just kind of in my crease, just kind of start the crease action there. And then we'll see what we'll do next. That shade actually went on really nicely. I am using more of like a denser shadow brush, like not like a crease brush, but these are definitely applying a lot better than they swatched, and that's just my personal opinion. So I definitely have to say they perform better than they swatch. So anyways, we're going to go right in with the shade Sangria right here. That shade is actually really stunning, and I'm hoping it will go on really beautifully on the eye. I'm just going to use the same brush. I'm just going to kind of put it on the lid, because I'm just going to go from right here to right here. Instead of doing what I always do, I'm just going to go in with a matte lid and see what happens. Now that those 2 colors are merged together, that looks really good. And yes, another thing with Sangria is that that shade actually didn't swatch as amazing as it could have, but it's looking so good on the eye. So see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the colors just definitely blend better with the brushes. So I'm going to go back in with Sangria. I'm actually going to take that on the lower lash line right here, just kind of merge them together before moving on to any other shadow. Before we move on to anything else, like I said before, we're going to go in with another shadow. I'm going to go in with Limoncello. This shade is so beautiful, but it doesn't go on nearly as yellow as you think. It goes on really warm though, but I'm going to use that as my inner corner and brow bone highlight before moving on to any more shadows. I'm actually going to go in with Pastel Melon right here in the middle, right there. I'm actually going to go in with that shade just a little bit on the lower lash line, just below Sangria, just kind of tie everything together. Last but not least, what we're going to do is I'm going to go in with Gusty. I'm guessing that's what it's called, Gusty. I'm actually going to just take my finger. This shade is very sheer, is what she said. It's a very sheer shade that's going to kind of give you like a wet shimmer look. So I'm just going to apply that right over top of Sangria just with my finger. Now that the lip is on, the first look is complete. As I said before, this is the first look of 3 looks I'm going to be doing with the Natasha Denona Tropic palette. Because when I get palettes that are this big, I always do like 4 or 5 shades, and I never really give you guys a fair review on the product because I only use like a little portion of it. So I wanted to do as many looks as possible, doing different looks with this palette. So of course I am so excited about doing the second look for you. Here we go, round 2, look number 2, and we're gonna dive right in back into the Tropic palette. So for example, the first look that I did was very peachy, almost not really like everyday neutral, but it was the most neutral of a look that I could think of, really. So now we're gonna go in with a bold look. Obviously, we're gonna do more of like a bluish kind of vibes look for you guys. So I'm actually gonna go in first with the shade Fake Tan, this one right here. I'm actually just gonna throw that into my crease just a little bit, and then after that I'm gonna go in with Laguna. This color is absolutely stunning pastel blue color, and I'm really excited about throwing that into my crease as well. Laguna is actually super stunning. It came on a little bit more teal because I did have Fake Tan under it. So if I were to have just put it by itself, it would have been very, very bright, just like the pan. But I wanted to be a little bit more muted in a way. So anyways, for the lid shade, we're going to go in with the shade Mint Frost right down here. That shade is actually beautiful. I did apply it with my finger at the very end because it did come on a little chunkier, like a chunkier glitter, but it definitely blended out really nicely with the brush and my finger. So, anyways, we're going to move on. I really don't know what to do with this look so far. Like, I really want to add a little bit of something into my crease, or maybe at least in the outer portion. I think I might actually go in with Tiger Lily right here. That color definitely went on really nicely, but to me, there is little to no pigment with that one. I'm not saying that it's not pigmented. I'm just saying that to me, it was just very hard to work with, if that makes sense. So anyways, so next up, what we're going to do is we're going to do inner corner and backbone highlight, and of course, it's going to be back in with Limoncello like the first one, because Limoncello is the most gorgeous, like, highlighting shade in this palette. So for the lower lash line, we're going to go in with the shade Exotic, which is like this nice foresty green metallic shade. That shade, I really had to dig the F in the pan, so don't think that one really is that pigmented, really, unless you like to probably use it with your finger or probably a flatter brush or something like that, but I'm using a really nice dense brush, and for some reason just did not pick up any pigment. There's no fallout though, because it was just so pressed in so tightly. So now I'm going to go back in with Tiger Lily. I'm going to take that right there on the outer portion of the eye. I'm going to take a little fluffy brush. I'm going to go back in with Laguna, just a tiny bit. I'm just going to take that under the colors to blend them all together. Now that eyes are almost done, I'm going to throw on some mascara and some lashes and maybe a liner, and I'll be right back. There we go. There you have it. This is the second of 3 different looks for the Tropic palette. I actually really do like the way that this one came out. Not a big fan of these 2 shades right here just because they did not want to swatch or go on very easily, but the other shades like Laguna, Fake Tan, and Mint Frost were absolutely stunning. So let's get ready for the third and final look of this palette. Here we go. This is the third and final look using the Natasha Denona Tropic palette. The last look came out okay, but there were just 2 shades, Tiger Lily and Exotic, that just were kind of like hard in the pan. I will play with those a little bit more in the future and hope that they kind of give out a little bit more pigment. This look is going to be a little bit more of a matte eye look. I'm going to be doing a look that she did on her Instagram page that looks very mod, very gorgeous. She had Cocoa in the crease and then Xena on the lid, and then had Limoncello as a highlight. I really want to kind of recreate that and just kind of put my spin on it, if that makes sense. So just like my spin on it, but similar in that mod vibe. So Just no cat eye, just because I don't know cat eyes. Anyways, so we're just going to go dive right in. So for this look, I actually really want to go in with a Sahara right here with a fluffy brush and just kind of add that into my crease just to get a little bit of color and some definition in my crease area before we go in with any more colors. Just to kind of get some crease action going, I'm actually going to take like a detailing brush like this. I'm going to go in with Cocoa because the look is very nice where she had like a warmer crease and then she had like the chocolate kind of outline and then she had the Xena on the lid. So let's just try that out and see what happens. If I have to cut my crease, I will, but I don't really want to try to do that. I want to try to do it by myself. So let's see. So far we got a good base going on right now. Like we have a really good like edged mod look, but right now what we're going to do is I'm actually just going to take some concealer and just kind of line it up a little bit just to get a little bit more definition because I really want to just try to do that. Before this dries, I'm actually going to go in with the shade Xena. I left the brown shade a little bit more thicker than I usually do, so I want to add that contrast to it because that's what really mod looks are. Now that this fantasy is coming to reality, I'm going to go back in with Cocoa and just kind of fix a little bit of the crease area, just kind of make everything blend. This look is getting a little bit severe, and the purple went on a really pretty, actually. It's a little darker than I thought it was because of my base being so creamy and I'm guessing like more of a wet feel. So the shade looks like this, but it went on so deep because of the concealer. But it's okay. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take Cocoa again, and I'm going to actually kind of line it like this, like a point. So it's going to be kind of like a cat eye. Getting somewhere with this look. It's a little bit more severe than I was hoping for, but you know what, let me be creative a little bit, let me just learn from my mistakes and let me just try some new shades out and some new ideas out, so whatever. Anyways, we're gonna go in with Sahara right here. I'm just gonna use that to kind of warm up my under eye area, and then we're going to add a little bit of the shade Xena. Last but not least, we're going to go in with Limoncello for the inner corner and brow bone highlight right before we're done with this look. This look is definitely a little bit more severe, and I am just kind of playing with color and playing with different ideas, so don't hate it. I'm just trying something new. Now the third and final look is complete. This look was definitely more severe. I feel like I loved the first look the most. The second look was actually really stunning after everything was said and done. And then this look is just very different. Now this one is not exactly identical to the one that Natasha Denona made, but is still has that same kind of vibe, but has a little bit of a twist in my opinion. So let's talk about the palette really quick before I go. Since I use a good majority of the shadows, I literally used probably 10 out of the 15, maybe more. But yes, so all the shades, especially the matte ones, blended smoothly, went on amazing, blended amazing, no issues there. The metallic shades, Gusty was a little bit harder, and so was Tiger Lily and Exotic. All three of them kind of took a little bit more oomph with my finger and with a brush to even get the pigmentation out there. Limoncello is definitely really, really pretty and really stunning, but I would have to say it does get a little bit chunky after a while, and Mint Frost was absolutely stunning and gorgeous. So the shades in this palette, I definitely feel, yes, I do feel like there might be a new formula that she's playing around with for this palette. It is $129. Do I feel like it's worth it if you're a fan of Natasha Denona? Yes. I feel like if you're a fan of Natasha Denona and her shadows and you want to try out some new formulas and some new colors, I say go for it. But if you're not willing to spend $129 on an eyeshadow palette, then that's completely you. Like, I've talked to a lot of people who I told I had this palette, and they said I would never spend that much coin on these products, and I understand, and I get that. I just bought it because I really wanted to try it, and I love her palettes beforehand. So, anyways, do I feel like it's worth it? In my opinion, it's pretty good, and I think that it's actually a really nice palette. I just think I agree that it is a very expensive eyeshadow palette. But the good thing is, too, when you look at these pans, they actually do have holes in the back, so you can actually pop these pans out and travel with them, which is really good as well. So, I feel like this palette's actually really nice, but like I said, I think that's all about your interpretation of what you want to spend on an eyeshadow palette. Let's just say that right now. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you thumbs it up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the very near future. And thank you guys so much for watching this first ever 3 looks, 1 palette that I've done on my channel. So anyways, love you. Bye.